Around 400,000 children have been impacted and in need of support. Want to help us get a better understanding of the scale of this? Let's speak with Will Rashu, Executive Director for Save the Children Thailand. Will, help us understand then the scale of the impact of these floods.
Yeah, well, it's unprecedented, and people on the ground have said they've never seen this, even though, we've been responding to floods in the south for 4 years in a row already. But this year, the scale is just, we've never seen that. You've got water that's high, up to 1.5, 2 meters in many, many areas. So homes are flooded, people are on the second floors. People are evacuated by boats to shelters, so they're staying in schools, in public buildings. Education is disrupted. We've got hundreds of schools. I think the latest figure is around 700 schools that are closed. So, we haven't seen this in recent history.
Yeah, it does sound incredibly devastating to the communities there. How vulnerable are children then as a result?
Well, the problem is that, they're always the worst affected by these floods. So first, they're very frightened. They've been evacuated from their homes or they're stuck at home. They see water everywhere around them. It's a very stressful situation. The parents are stressed. Some are running out of food or fuel. And so it's a very tense environment. Of course, their education has been disrupted overnight. So, and it's been more than a week now already. And, one of my staff based in the south, a mother of 3, was sharing that, the kids are stuck. They want to go out and play in water, but it's very dangerous for them. You've got dangerous animals. There's a high risk of drowning, and there's waterborne disease. So you have to watch over them all day long, and, they get restless. So, yeah, very difficult situation for children.
Yeah, and tell us about the efforts that Save the Children has been making.
So we're preparing, to send supplies. We've actually got our first truck that's on the way to the south. So we aim to provide basic necessities to families. That includes things like diapers, clothing, mosquito nets, hygiene kits for mothers. We're also preparing to support their education, make sure that they've got textbooks that, they can start learning again, even if it's at home, even if it's in a shelter, hoping that at least they've got signal that they can join online learning. And one of the key things is also to set up safe spaces for them so that, they're protected and they have a space to play, to be children again. And so we'll aim to set these up in the shelters across the Deep South. In the slightly longer term, we'll support the schools to reopen as soon as possible. As you mentioned, in some towns, this will take years. And so we'll provide schools with small grants so that, they can clean up and restart classes as soon as possible.
Well, thanks very much for giving us all that information. I appreciate your time with us. Will Rashu, Executive Director for Save the Children Thailand.